What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode. Today I'm working on my dad's 2008 Mini Cooper. I'm replacing the clock spring and the multi-directional or multi-switch device, which is the left and right turn signal, light switch, and wiper switch. So I ordered this whole entire unit that's behind here, behind the steering wheel. So I'm going to be replacing that entire unit here. First thing you want to do is disconnect the battery. So I've gone ahead and disconnected the battery off camera. Next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and remove the horn airbag from the steering wheel. Okay, so for the first step is to remove this plastic cover here. And it's held in by 3 T20 Torx bits. Clipped on. There it is. It's just clips. So this has 4 clips across the top that hold that in place. So 1, 2, 3, 4 clips. Let's see what it says. So the bottom plastic has 2 torque bits in it. I just don't know if I can get to them. Let's take a look. So the 2 side bolts are T27s. Let's see if I can even get to them though. I might have to use a screwdriver, because this does not look like it's going to work. Nope. Alright. Give me a second. I have to use a screwdriver with a T27 on the end. And this one seems to be coming off. There's one. Let's see if we can get to the other one on this side. On this side I can get to with a socket wrench. The other side did not let me. So the 2 upper bolts on the tachometer are going to be T30. Let's see if I can get in here. So rather than removing this top section first, what I want to do is remove the steering wheel to get me more access to the clock spring and to these trims back here. This top piece has to come off first, and inside of here there's a screw hole in the bottom one on this side and on the opposite side of this steering column. So what I want to do first is get this steering wheel off. I should have started with this first, but to remove this horn, inside this horn there's like that holds this piece on is a spring mechanism that holds it on all 4 corners. Basically it kind of like springs and releases, and the way to get it off is there's a little hole right here underneath. Let me see if I can get to that. This guy right there. So I'm going to stick a screw up in, or not a screw, but a skinny screwdriver in there, and you're going to want to push straight up, and when you push straight up, that'll pop out. So let me pull that real quick. Alright, let's see if we can pull this steering off. That's it. So once you get this off, you're going to have this 2 plugs to take off. You got this guy right here, and then you got the little horn button ground down there. So I'm going to pull those off right now, and make sure you don't just yank on these. This got a little clip to squeeze down and pull, and this one's the same. You just got to make sure not to yank it off. So let me go ahead and get that off real quick. One. so this is an airbag. You want to make sure that that first step we did when we started this video was removing the battery. This is an airbag that's going to explode in your face. So please make sure you have the battery disconnected and keep your distance whenever pulling a horn style airbag off of a steering wheel. All right, next thing we're going to want to do is pull the steering wheel off. So the clock spring is behind this. We're going to pull the steering wheel off by removing this bolt right here. So I'm going to grab that bolt and go next. Okay, the center bolt on this Mini R56 is a 16 millimeter. Let me see if I can take this off with socket wrench. Usually with impact, air impact or electric impact, it comes off really easily. Since the steering wheel is not locked in place, let's see if I can get it off. Yep, that's luck. That actually came off. So this is my parents' car, or my dad's car, and they had a 2008 Mini automatic before. What happened was my mom and dad were driving the car, but my mom would call me and say that the transmission feels like it's dragging, and I believe that that's from them accidentally downshifting on these paddle shifters. So either side, right or left, does the same thing. You push in, it's going to downshift. You pull out, you pull towards you, it's upshifting. But if you're driving this car and accidentally downshift this by grabbing the steering wheel, you're going to downshift the transmission without even knowing. So what I might do is I might actually disconnect these two sensors for the paddle shifters, one here and then the other one's right in here. If I disconnect these, I'm going to try to do that and see how the car rides. If it has no check lights or anything like that, I'm going to leave these disconnected. Completely take them off. I mean, leave them on, but for visual effect, but unplug them, tape them off, and we'll see what happens from that. So next you're going to want to do is pull this other clip off of the clock spring, which is right inside of here behind the steering wheel. I'm going to pull this clip off, and then I should be able to pull the steering wheel right off. Disconnected. Let's see if I can get the steering wheel off. Steering wheel is off. All right, so now we've removed the tachometer above. We're going to pop this piece off. It's got, I believe it's 4 clips, one here and one in the back. There's one. There's an easier way. Pull this out like that. You need to lower the steering column down all the way. Get some more room. Two. Okay. Yep, so there's 4. You can see here there's 4 clips. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we talked earlier that these are actually screwed in from the top. Tachometer out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and get those off next. Make sure I got the right size on my tool. T20s. Put those on my screwdriver. Got one on this side. This one. On this side. Let's see if I can get this out. So I'm going to have to drop the handle to slide this guy out. There's that. Come on, baby. There's that. All right. So here's the clock spring. Clock spring's right here. This guy's loose. All right, so I removed the T30 back here. So what I'm seeing here is there's some like plastic clips that are also holding it on. That like it pops in. So let's see if I can get those two clips off. One is here on this side. Okay, let's get this one. There it is. Okay, she's off. So I'm going to pull off these two harnesses. One just pushes in like this, and then you slide it down. Takes that big guy off. This other one here, it's got a push clip on it, and that just pushes down and pull out. There it is. There's the old one. I'll leave it up here for a second. Grab the new one. All right, so here's the new clock spring, or brand used. I bought this one on eBay for a little less than $100. I matched up because this car does not have the auto running lights. So make sure you buy the right switch, because if you see the one with the auto running lights down here on this side, if there's like a little circle with an A, make sure you get the exact one. You can match it up by part number. So you want to take this clamp off the old one. You're going to want to make sure the threaded part is up. This only goes in one way. It's got a little channel here. See that? Just like that. That's it. So then you're going to want to take your two plugs. Plug that in. 1, 2. There we go. Slide this over. Should snap in place like that. You're going to take your bolt, your T30, thread that back in. Nice. All right, next, want to put the lower plastic on. This guy right here. I'm going to slide this up. First thing I'm going to do though is I'm actually going to hide this guy up here so it doesn't get stuck behind all the wiring. Okay, keep you up here for a second. So you want to slide this in through the bottom first, like that. It's easier like that. So this goes up, over. Make sure I'm not catching the harnesses. So the two screws in the back. That. That's it. So once you get that in there, drop it back down, put that in place like that. Put the two screws on the side, two on top. Let's get that back together. These two side bolts are actually T30s, the ones that are way on the back. I was using the T27 on the end of the socket screwdriver just because of the angle. Let me see if I can get these in here. Let's see if I can tighten this guy up. That's good on that side. Put my socket wrench on this side. Okay. Then I got those two top bolts. Alright, these two top guys are going to go down through the clock spring into the bottom piece. There's one there. One here. I believe those were smaller T20s. Let's try that. Yep, T20s. All right, bottom's nice and tight, rock spring's nice and tight, like that. Gotta get this top piece on, onto the tachometer and slid back. This should be fun. All right, unfortunately, I really can't see the back. Let's see if we can snap in the front. The back end also. The front's easy. The front's real easy. It's the back. Oh. That's an easy way to do it. Slide it in on one side. Force it in on the other. All right, now the tachometer goes in, slides in place like that. So, all right, tachometer was what? T30s again? Yep, tachometer is T30s. All right, next is the steering wheel. All right, steering wheel with the outlets to the top. Slide this guy on. Like so. Verify you put the steering wheel back the same way you took it off. Steering wheel is perfectly straight. Wheels are perfectly straight. And I'll bolt this guy on. All right, nice and tight. All right. So, from what I could tell, this guy is the shifter plug. It's coming off of both sides. I don't know if you can see that, but this guy, here's the shifter plug. So, I have a couple options here. I could leave this disconnected, just kind of hide it behind things. Have it sit back here like this. Plug the horn back in, and then the airbag sensor plug right here. See if I get any check lights after I plug it all in. Hopefully I get no dummy lights, and then that will disconnect this mechanism of shifting up or down. Yeah, I'm going to put that in without this plug. Still leave it disconnected. The horn. This guy's easy. Let's just a ground down here. Plug that guy in. Plug in your airbag sensor, keeping your distance as much as possible. Make sure that clips in all the way. Then the steering wheel just goes right back in. we're done. So I'm going to plug in the battery, start the car, see if I have any lights on. Let's see if my lights still work. Lights still work. High beams still work. Well, I did replace the clock spring. Horn still works. I'm in drive. The shifters, non-functional, and no lights. So at least I did that. Well, if you needed a clock spring replaced because of airbag light on or multi-directional light not working, you can see the wipers are working. Rear wiper is working in the mirror. I don't know if you can see that. So that's working. So as far as the device is working, so hopefully you learned something from the clock spring removal and replacement. Leave any comments below. Reach out to me if you have any other questions. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and stand by for the next episode.